Akasa Air. Pilots have resigned, but good news coming in for Akasa Air because they've now been given permit to fly international.
Absolutely. So I think a lot has moved in the favor of Akasa in the last 24 hours. When we were
Tables
here
have turned.
speaking yesterday, Shweta, I think the story was very different. The story was about Akasa wanting to take the 43 pilots who have resigned without serving notice period to court and wanted the courts to intervene and get them back to work. Because the airline said that there was a 6-month stipulated notice period which the pilots are meant to serve, because it takes about 7 to 8 months of training for any new pilot to be inducted to fly the Akasa fleet. So 6 months of notice period not served by as high as 43 pilots who left almost at a day's notice, which eventually led to grounding of about 24 flights a day. Extrapolate that to almost 700-800 flights every month were getting grounded when it came to Akasa. Now, yesterday, after I think this news came out and even we discussed it, the management of Akasa, Vishal Dubey, the CEO, actually wrote an email to employees stating very clearly that they are uncompromising when it comes to keeping the aircraft reliability and operations completely in check. They are not shutting down, denied those rumors of the airline shutting down, and said that there are enough and more pilots already at various stages of completion of their training to come and start flying as many as 30 new aircraft. Add to that the new order book, the new order issue by Akasa saying that there are going to be aircraft orders in 3-digit numbers. So that means that's going to be a minimum of another 100 aircraft to be ordered by Akasa to be inducted in its fleet over the next few years, as soon as starting December this year, end of this calendar year. So, so that is one part of the good news, that Akasa has denied rumors. It is not going down. In fact, if anything, it is expanding its fleet, getting more aircraft. There are pilots in various stages of completion of their training who will come and fly, more number of aircraft. And it gets a nod from the Civil Aviation Ministry to fly international sectors. So the sectors which the airline is going to concentrate on initially once it starts flying internationally are going to be South Asia, India's neighborhood, Southeast Asia, as well as Middle East. So I think this entire Indian Ocean subcontinent is likely to be covered by Akasa Air in coming times. Rumors of the airline shutting down vehemently denied by management. New pilots getting inducted after completion of training. At least another 100 new aircraft will start getting delivered starting as early after the order is placed by end of this calendar year.
And what happens to the pilots who have resigned, who have been taken to court?
I think that is something which is going to play out in the courts. Remember, the court matter is scheduled both in the Bombay High Court as well as the Delhi High Court. There is a precedent of any organization not being in a position, not being given permission to be in a position to thwart the progress of any skilled employee to make a living. And these arguments, fights over notice period have not really seen much light in favor of organizations. In fact, all previous rulings have favored employees, and pilots being employees, it's unlikely that even if this precedent was to reverse, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So maybe that long run battle is going to continue, and you may have a situation where there could be some penalty imposed on pilots, maybe salary in lieu of the six months of unserved notice period to be remitted back to the airline. We may see issues like these eventually getting resolved, but I don't think pilots who have gone are coming back to fly the grounded fleet. Akasa will have to wait for the new batch of pilots to get qualified, trained, and come and fly the new aircraft.
All right, and that fight will be fought in the legal chambers now, as the matter is pending in front of Delhi High Court and Bombay High Court. So Akasa, some breather there for Akasa as far as the international permit from Civil Aviation Ministry is
and I think add to that the vigor of the existing pilots, statements coming from there also. In fact, Business Standard, if I'm not mistaken, today had a lovely headline which said, "We shall overcome." And I think existing pilots in Akasa Air have also committed their sort of willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty and ensure that that the
no more flights are cancelled,
stays pretty much afloat or in the air.
All right.